Chi volunteers assist an 82-year-old elderly who lives a life without running water at home. Take a look at two associations which were set up to help the needy after the 9/21 earthquake. Selamat datang ke Dial Headline, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. 82-year-old Ling Tianfu lives a life without running water at home, so he needs to buy water with a big bucket. Let's take a look at how volunteers help improve his life.
东京买到。
我这同我2年前去拖上来啊。
拖什么？
拖水啊，无你要安怎摕？
唔足忝的。
It's very tired. Who else can I tell? There's no other way. I almost can't walk.
It would cost $1,000 to install water pipes for just one household, which is very expensive. In the past, it only cost $35 to $70 for the installation. So if it is necessary to install it now, you have to pay the cost. Otherwise, life would not be easy. There is no other way.
I'm lonely, living alone, sleeping on that bed, shedding tears. What else can I do? I've thought of committing suicide.
We have borrowed the tap water from a neighbor and installed a water meter over there, so we'll know how much water he uses, and then we'll subsidize his water bill.
然后就是以后那个水费的话，就是补贴他们这样。
水博是对外一个卡价。
Currently, the water is being taken from my house and extended to this side for him to use.
We'll help him install an electric water heater and a toilet bowl. We'll also help installing lighting equipment for him.
Seeing the condition of this grandpa, our hearts go out to him. Yet today we help him install water system so he has water to use. He feels happy, and so do us.
Chi volunteers in New Jersey had formed a food storage service and has accompanied the locals for 10 years now. While celebrating their 10th anniversary, they still continue to carry out the distribution for the local residents.
Tzu Chi, New Jersey chapter's food storage had served for 10 years. While celebrating the 10th anniversary, a distribution was held as usual.
2 families. 2 families. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
I'm actually really happy for you guys. I've been coming here for a while since I heard, and I feel like you guys are like a big help, and I'm really like congratulations for your 10th year anniversary.
Volunteers who joined when this first started had much to say about the event.
I have never thought through persistence. 10 years have gone by. I have always had a passion for service, and I do whatever I can to help.
I'm really thankful to our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters in New Jersey that have been with us for years. When I think of all these care recipients needing food, it's been an easy 10 years.
The positive bonding with the community is allocated over the years. Residents who received assistance before now join in on the act of giving back.
I love this organization. I would like to say thanks for all the things that you do for the community.
After all these years, the initial kind motivations never changed. While distributing supplies, vegetarianism is promoted. This is for sentient beings and for eco-friendliness.
Whoa, you want to be a two-day meal for vegetarian today? Every day? Good for you.
My vegetable is my favorite. People change your mind about the eat. It's very, very important. It's not only for your company. No, it's not only for the animal. It's not only for me. It's for the air.
Using love to impact others while giving a helping hand to poor families, New Jersey Food Storage will accompany the community, marching to the next 10th year.
In California, as the evacuation orders in Arcadia and Sierra Madre have been lifted, Tzu volunteers brought energy supplies to the fire station to comfort the firefighters.
I looked out from the door of my house and I could see the white fire, and that mountain fire keeps moving westward every day, and it is getting bigger and bigger, so I feel nervous every day.
The bubble cat wildfire in California continued to burn, causing locals to panic as the firefighters are still on the front line facing against natural disasters. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers brought supplies to comfort everyone.
We prepared some drinks and snacks, such as energy bar, energy drink to thank them, and of course they were also very moved.
Here it is special. This is for love. Chinese is I.
Okay.
But it's for love.
Okay.
The volunteers present a poster drawn by Tzu. The simple image contains a deep sense of gratitude.
On the day of the evacuation, the people fled down to the mountain, but the firefighters went up. Firefighters work overtime to widen the quarantine area 24 hours a day. Most people say that firefighters don't do anything, but they help the resident when they need, so thank them very much.
We are worried here, but they have to go through fire to safeguard residents' lives. I admire them very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank them because they are so great.
While the volunteers came to be grateful, the firefighters received a text message and set off to safeguard people's life and property.
During the pandemic, many households were impacted economically, and though Tzu Chi has been distributing rice continuously, in the long term, there are still families suffering from a lack of food. Volunteers based in Philippines' Palo Great Love Village had distributed seeds to locals, letting them plant and harvest their food. Let's take a look.
Near the houses and into the farmland, as long as there is soil, seeds can be planted. At the Great Love Village in Palo, the seed of love has been planted as villagers join in.
Thank you, Tzu Chi and Master Zheng Yan, giving us a pack of seeds for everyone.
Tzu Chi Foundation ngan Master Zheng Yan. Damo salamat kay dakunan nga bulig ram.
Giving food supplies, volunteers help villagers establish self-sufficiency during the pandemic, thinking in the longer run. The little seeds planted before had grown into eggplants, an easy cooking step may provide a full serving for the family.
Planting our own is a great help since we wouldn't starve and we also don't have to go and buy vegetables.
Filled with a sense of achievement while consuming nutritious food, villagers' care and continuous plantings have earned them a delicious meal.
After the 9/21 earthquake, many local folks devoted themselves to various post-disaster reconstruction. In Taichung's Heping mountainous area, a group of Atel aborigines set up an association to help the elderly and disadvantaged. And in Nantou, the Zhushan Charity Association mobilized volunteers to repair roads and care for the underprivileged.
Liu Zhenmei was busy preparing ingredients in the kitchen, and sometimes ran outside to confirm the individual needs of the elders written on the whiteboard. After the 9/21 earthquake, she worked in the association as a medical vehicle driver and then a kitchen worker.
I will also be old in the future, right? So I always treat the elderly with gratitude.
Experienced seniors lead the youngsters in the tribe to take part in meal delivery work. Zhu Xiaofan is considered as the new generation of the tribe.
It's best for them to finish all. We will be very happy. Otherwise, we have to review if there are leftovers.
The Taiwan Indigenous Demafin Development Association is originated from the reconstruction of tribal culture after the 9/21 earthquake. A common kitchen was established 18 years ago to practice the indigenous tradition of sharing food and work, delivering meals to the disadvantaged elders and severely ill patients every day. The workers not only deliver lunch boxes, but also care for the situation of the elderly. Sometimes they also act as a maintenance worker.
During the Lunar New Year, when we deliver meals, we also go with a group of women to help the seniors clean their home. There was an elder who had no family. When he passed away, we became his family to bless him for the last time.
The association has limited funds and must be self-sufficient for charity. The development of traditional industries is an important support to the association. Attire traditional weaving allows disadvantaged women to have jobs, which not only passes on the culture, but also increases the income of the association. The common kitchen also promotes special meals and makes moon cakes. There is also a farm behind the kitchen, which is open for bidding. The harvest will be regularly sent down the mountain to the bidders.
We hope to create more independent financial resources so that we can do what we want, trying to meet the needs of the tribe.
Through regular care for the disadvantaged, in the remote Taiwan Valley, this group of people worked hard to continue the spirit of tribe reconstruction after the 9/21 earthquake.
There are more than thousands of potholes on the roads we repair every year, so in the past 21 years, more than tens of thousands of potholes have been repaired.
The Zhusan Charity Association travels all around the central region to repair roads. Volunteers with an average age of more than 17 years old can lift up a pack of asphalt which weighs 40 kilograms. Volunteer He Wei-Zi is 80 years old and has been involved in road repairing work for more than 20 years.
There was a man who suddenly took out $10 when we were patching potholes in front of his house. We did not collect it, so he left the money and ran into the house.
The Zhusan Charity Association started road repairing earlier than the 9/21 earthquake. Zheng Guoying was a cemetery feng shui master. He began repairing the road before the 9/21 earthquake when the charity association was not yet established.
Seeing people fall while riding a motorcycle, I just want to see if there was any asphalt available for me to patch the road so that no one would fall again.
After the 9/21 earthquake, all roads in Zhusan Township were damaged, with some uplifted and some collapsed. The height difference was several feet long, so I set up this Zhusan Charity Association to start patching the potholes in these roads.
Not only repairing the roads, the charity association continued to care for the disadvantaged during the 9/21 earthquake and served villages until now. But as volunteers grow older, the participation of the new generation is very important. The son of the district chairman, Zheng Guoyin, followed his father to repair the roads in recent years.
It will be safer for everyone. I just helped my dad to do a little bit.
The founder, Zhuang Zhenfa, wishes to pass down the spirit of the charity association from generation to generation. He bought land and donated it as a warehouse to store road repair vehicles, tools and materials, hoping that the younger generation can continue this work. This group of volunteers who repair the roads work hard to maintain road safety of the public, setting a role model for everyone.
In Taiwan, Dr. Xu Quanzhen has practiced medicine for more than 40 years. He has promoted hearing checkup for newborn and set up Taiwan's first data bank for hearing impairment genetic research. Let's meet this outstanding doctor.
父母的他发觉他的小孩子有这样子。
Some parents have discovered that their children are hearing impaired and cannot undergo surgeries or take medications to recover. They almost knelt down to beg us. You can expect that the child will eventually become hearing impaired and mute. We feel that we need to help these children who are severely hearing impaired.
这些重度的听障的小孩。
Xu Quanzhen is a pioneer in hearing impairment studies in Taiwan. In 1980s, he's one of the first researchers studying cochlear implant, bringing hope to hearing impaired individuals.
Dr. Xu is a very important benefactor in my life. I could not hear, but after this experience, my life has improved for the better.
The first cochlear implant transplant patient, Zhong Xiaojuan, had lost hearing ability because of Meniere's disease. She sought medical treatment for 5 years. Although there are other hospitals that can help her with cochlear implant transplant, she chose Taiwan University Hospital because of Xu Quanzhen. Currently, Zhong is married with children and she has a stable job. The medical help she received 25 years ago has built up a trusting relationship.
在台湾大概只有我在做一种叫做
Back in Taiwan, I was the only one doing checkups using electric stimulation.
用电刺激来取代。
We know that the cochlear implant uses electric stimulation to replace regular voice. If the patients react well, we'll know that he is suitable for cochlear implant. Then in the future, it will be very helpful.
装了这个电子然后呢，以后也会有很大的帮助。
今天等一下要测一下 P60天的听力的表现。
For once every week, she will hold meeting with Taiwan University Hospital's medical team. This 10-people research team is Taiwan's earliest hearing impairment research team.
选一个来用新的这个 PE 做做看了。
In 1990s, hearing checkup for newborn was a global trend. In 2003, Xu and other pioneers in medical field have promoted hearing checkup for newborn in Taiwan.
先天性听障的小孩呢，他
Children who have cognitive hearing impairment need to receive treatment early.
也就是说，他应该是在至少
In other words, he should receive treatment before he is 6 months old. This way, his hearing ability and speech development will be about the same level as normal children.
听力的小孩的发展会差不多。
Although newborns' hearing impairment can be tested, the cause of impairment is unclear. She has done experiments on animals to do research on genetic treatment. He hopes the results can be applied to humans.
用一些病毒把它带进
We
去。
applied some virus so that his abnormal genes can become normal. His affected hearing can improve or recover.
这个改善或是恢复。
On this day, Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital and Taiwan Academy of Odontology have held simulation surgery. They held a gratitude ceremony in the morning.
实际的模拟医学中心
Tzu Chi's Medical Simulation Center is special because of its medical humanitarian culture. I'm very touched. Tzu Chi represents these silent mentors and they hold stately and dignified ceremonies.
而且真有尊严的这样的一个仪式。
Dr. Wu Hongbing, who's in charge, is a student at Taiwan University in the early days. The teacher does not only care about his students, but also how to pass on experiences to other ENT doctors in Taiwan.
他希望把下一代都栽培
He
起来。
hopes to nurture the next generation. He wants to pass on knowledge and experience to the mid generation and the next generation. This is a long process.
The more than 30 doctors who participated from different hospitals in Taiwan, they've all received guidance from Xu. She has come to Tzu Chi Hospital for 5 years, and he combines Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture with medical skills to pass on his experiences.
In Taiwan, resource recovery is an important way to reduce waste. Due to the limited natural resources, Taiwan is very dependent upon imports of raw materials and reused materials. This means that Taiwan is uniquely positioned to benefit from China's ban on foreign waste, as its materials are now cheaper. For a report as we learn more.
The rumbling sound of the machine does not stop since early morning. This is a factory in the Kaohsiung Industrial Zone that specializes in the production of raw plastic pellets.
These all imported from Japan. After the plastic bags are broken up, they will become new plastic raw material, and some 70% of the products will result in foreign exchange deposits.
These materials imported from Japan are crushed by machines and sent to a warehouse on the second floor. The two-story warehouse is filled with snow-white plastic items, or raw materials for later use.
When we import waste plastic, we buy reused materials, not garbage. We buy it so it is a resource, and we spend money to buy it. When these waste plastics come in, it is equivalent to our raw materials. It's not rubbish, because the recycling rate can reach 98% or more.
Raw materials are remade into plastic pellets and sold domestically or overseas. Mr. Lee has actually been engaged in the recycling industry since the beginning of his career. After discovering business opportunities in secondary materials, he began to invest in this industry. He discovered that after the Chinese waste ban was issued, one can get more and more advanced recycled materials, just like this batch of diaper scraps from Japan or scrap plastic bags.
As long as any industry in the world is involved in manufacturing, they will more or less produce waste. But these wastes are not completely impossible to reuse. There are materials that simply are not waste. We can reshape and regranulate, which is equivalent to supplying the plastic material to a factory as a raw material. It does have an environmentally friendly effect on the environment.
On October 1, 2018, the EPA revised the requirement requiring the sourcing of foreign waste plastics, which can now be a single material or a single type of plastic scrap or defective products and other non-processed sources. It must be single material and single type, and its use is restricted to legal factories who can import it.
Taiwan originally did not allow this industry to import waste. Now, the import of general industrial waste is permitted, but it must go through a case-by-case application before permission can be given. The nature of these materials commonly used in the industry are more biased towards bulk raw materials. We agreed to allow them to enter customs directly, with customs conduct random inspections on a proportional basis.
Although Taiwan has not been directly involved in the Sino-U.S. garbage embargo, the global industrial chain is closely related. This means that a large number of reused materials that China does not accept have flowed into the international market. Neighboring Taiwan has also gained in terms as domestically recycled reused materials are only about 50% of the volume required, which is not enough. Factories specializing in the recycled plastics industry do not hesitate to say that the ban on waste in China will allow them to have better materials, but the EPA and the customs have also become stricter to avoid unscrupulous business people and manufacturers who may try to sneak in this garbage. The global industrial chain frequently sees fluctuation in raw materials, which can affect the development of local industry. Taiwan's resources are limited, with 90% of raw materials relying on imports. The regional flow of reused materials has sparked a wave of Taiwan's recycled plastics and paper industries. The economic benefits of Taiwan can be a new blueprint for Taiwan's developing cross-border circular economy.
New Taipei City launched a new education teaching method for preschool children, which emphasizes on Chinese, English, and coding. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.